There's a myth out there that if substance abuse treatment is forced, it will fail. But the truth is, treatment does not have to be voluntary to be successful. People who are encouraged to enter into treatment by their family, employers, or even the legal system are just as likely to benefit as those who enter treatment voluntarily. People are often able to think more clearly as they recover, which can help foster change. To learn more, you can come see me. I'm Sergeant Nadine Amatruda of the Waterbury Police Department, and I'm here to help.
Good evening. Welcome to our monthly diversity committee meeting, and we do greet you all this evening, praying that all is well and that you have had a wonderful and productive day. Pastor Reese, co-chair, along with Madam Co-chair Althea Marshall Brooks, and it's good to be back this evening. I want to call the meeting to order. It is 7:02 p.m. and the meeting is now in order. I'm going to ask if Andrew will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. If he would do that for us, sir.
I actually can't.
Okay.
Due to religious reasons, I don't recite it.
Oh, got you. Pastor Hobson, if you would be so kind. Unmute yourself, sir.
Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to take roll call. Mayor O'Leary. Pastor Christopher. Yeah.
Here to serve in capacity for Mayor O'Leary.
Thank you. Thank you. Mac the Mac and for Mayor O'Leary. Pastor Christopher Reese here. President Jenny Ray Clay.
Here.
Pastor Kelsey Hobson.
here.
Sherry Lamb.
Here.
Madam Co-chair Althea Marshall Brooks.
Here.
Jalea West. Jalea West. Margaret Bowen did email us tonight. She has a conflict. She'll jump on if she can. Amari Brantley. Amari Brantley. Jim O'Rourke. Jim
I am
O'Rourke.
here. I am
All
here.
right. Thank you. Pastor Castellano.
I'm also here.
Thank you. Andrew Beeman.
Here.
David Morgan. Sean Mosley.
Present.
Dr. Ruffin. Dr. Ruffin. Sabera Gordon. Sabera Gordon. And Attorney Diaz. Attorney Diaz. All right.
Right. So he sent an email saying that he would not be present.
Okay. Thank you. That's right. So I do believe we have 9. We do have a quorum now.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. The minutes was sent. Yes.
We have a guest. Can you please have our guest introduce herself?
Oh, I'm sorry. We have a guest tonight.
I think she signed off to join on the YouTube. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Thanks, Counselor.
Thank you. The approval of our last meeting minutes. The minutes were sent out via email. Did you get a chance to review those minutes? Any questions on the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes as stated. Jim?
Thank you. Can I get a second?
I can second Castellano.
Thank you. It was properly motioned by Jim, second by Pastor Castellano. All in favor of the approval of minutes signify by saying aye. Wave your hand, move your head.
Aye.
Any opposers? Any abstentions? All right, the ayes have it. Thank you so very much. The next agenda item is the Governance Committee report. And so who would be, Andrew, are you leading? Thank you, sir. I like this. Thank you so very much. Andrew will be giving the report on behalf of the Governance Committee.
Yes, thank you. It's a pretty brief report. We have a few items here. First, by our June meeting, each subcommittee is to identify potential topics to begin researching. Number two, by the September meeting, all subgroups will determine which topic they will prioritize. Third item, the initial round of vacancies on the diversity committee will be individuals already submitted to the mayor, and from sitting members until the nominations subcommittee is finalized. So we're looking for nominations from this group for the vacant positions within the subcommittees, and that list will go to the mayor for approval. The last item is that the police reform subcommittee chair will be Sean Mosley. And that's the report for the governance committee items.
Any questions for
So I had a question, but just a
Andrew?
quick comment. Sorry, just a quick comment. So I did want to follow up on, Anthony's report, Andrew's report, excuse me, on Andrew's report, just that, it was asked during the governance committee that we could look into a meeting. It was proposed that the subcommittees could meet on the same day, possibly in breakout rooms. So the mayor's office did follow up with our IT staff, and we were made aware that breakout rooms is in a capacity that could be live streamed to the public. So as a solution, they proposed and came up with the solution that it would be the same day for the 4 new subcommittees to meet on 4 different Zooms that would be held at the same time. Each Zoom would have its own streaming link, so they could all be streamed on YouTube.
Okay, great.
Were there any questions or
Thank you.
concerns?
Desiree. Andrew, I do want to update you that the education subcommittee did meet and nominated Sabira Gordon as the committee chair.
Thank you. Making notes.
Okay. Any other questions for Andrew? Yes, Madam President, Jenny Ray.
Yeah, I just wanted to apologize that I did not meet with the Economic Opportunity and Housing Committee, but I will reach out to each of them by the weekend.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Madam Co-Chair, did I omit anything else? Yes, there.
Do we know if the other 2 committees met, Public Health and Criminal Justice, to find out who the selected or elected or identified chairs would be for those subcommittees?
I did not receive any report back.
Pastor Castellano, you have your hand up, sir.
Yes, I believe we got together on a quick moment, and I believe Mr. Diaz will be the chair for criminal justice.
Not the criminal justice one. Criminal justice / police reform subcommittee chair is actually Sean Mosley.
Okay.
Yeah, Pastor Castellano, I believe he had served temporary until a chair was selected. Is that correct, Andrew?
That's correct.
Okay, I must have missed that. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the governance committee? Yes, Madam President.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to clarify because, so it is okay for me to reach out to the members of the subcommittee and have a meeting with them. It does not have, because I thought it had to be public and all that other stuff. So it does not need to be a public meeting. We can have a committee meeting without, by just invitation and do it via Zoom.
I think that's fair, but I'll defer to the chairs. But I think that's fair because you are currently the temporary lead of it. So the discussion will really be to determine who's going to be the official lead of the subcommittee. Okay. And I think that's fine, whether if you're reaching out to us individually or as a group.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
Mr. Van, I was just going to say, I think, as it relates to an official meeting of the subcommittee, they do have to be public meetings, and I apologize if my memory isn't serving me well, but I think in the last governance subcommittee meeting, they talked about not necessarily convening a meeting as much as polling the members of the respective subcommittees to identify a leader. So, I don't think there was a need to meet under the guise of a subcommittee there. I think it's just the members of the committee identifying who they would like to lead. So on a move forward basis, for example, as Desiree shared, we'll convene the subcommittees on the same evening at the same time with separate YouTube links and Zoom links so that, all the public meeting requirement boxes are checked.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
And that would be the same. That will be the same with the Public Health Committee. I think they only have a temporary lead right now, so they would need the same assistance.
Through the chair, I have a question.
Yes, Brother Mosley.
Yes, so who would be responsible for setting the agenda for the subcommittees and the subcommittee meetings?
It should be the chairs of their committee, if I'm not mistaken.
And those should be submitted to the mayor's office?
Correct. So, I'm so sorry. Currently, there is the diversity committee info at waterburyct.org email that was set up for this committee. You could email your agendas there.
So how far in advance must the agenda be submitted in order for it to be prepared to be distributed for the subcommittee meetings?
Attorney Mosley, with this being an advisory committee and really every meeting being a special meeting, it requires 24-hour notice. So if the subcommittee was to meet Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, we would need the agenda probably to that diversity info email address, I would say by 4 o'clock latest on Tuesday, so that we can interface with the city clerk's office and ensure that those notices are posted, the agenda is posted online, etc.
And just so I'm clear, this is a separate agenda from the diversity committee agenda.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
When we set the general committee meeting, then your report would be part of that agenda. So we would hear from your committee on our big group meeting. And so each subcommittee would give their report at the bigger meeting.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, Madam Co-Chair.
A question. So glad to hear that it was resolved and that we have a way for all committees to meet. So I'm assuming there'll be 4 separate, or maybe I shouldn't assume that, there'll be 4 separate YouTube links and the public can decide which meeting that they will view.
Correct. There'll be one public notice with the designation of each subcommittee with the associated YouTube link, so that the public can pick, as you said.
That's where, will the public be able to have public speaking at the subcommittee meetings?
So during the governance committee meetings, it was decided by the members that public speaking would only be for the diversity committee as a whole.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a question for you? Or
yes,
a comment? So we're very fortunate. We have Francine, for example, this evening from the Office of the City Clerk, and she's helping take summary minutes. I will say when we have the 4 meetings going on at the same time, we don't have the capacity to take minutes for the 4 subcommittees at the same time, but we will send out, it's just a 1-pager kind of explaining what summary minutes are. They're not overburdensome, but would ask, you know, as the subcommittees convene, we can include this in our email, you know, prior to those meetings being scheduled and or the information going out. A member of the subcommittee will have to take the summary minutes.
all right, thank you. Any other additional comments or questions? All right. The next agenda item is the nominations for vacant seats. And so I know Attorney Mosley have submitted a name for recommendation. And so I will yield to Attorney Mosley.
Thank you, Pastor Reese. I have submitted the name of Attorney Leanne Silva Neal, who is a Waterbury native, Waterbury Public School graduate, who has worked across the state in really helping improve the lives of people from all different spectrums of life. Most recently, she served as an assistant state's attorney at the Waterbury District Court. And she has also experience in education and also experience really changing the lives of young people. And I think that she is someone who would serve this committee to her utmost ability. She brings a level of energy, thoughtfulness, compassion, and clarity that I think we would need for someone to serve on this committee. And so I strongly recommend that Attorney Leanne Silva Neal be appointed to the Diversity Committee for the City of Waterbury.
Okay. Any questions to Attorney Mosley regarding his recommendation of Attorney Silva Neal?
I have one question.
Yes, Madam President.
Yeah, I'm just curious, is she a Waterbury resident?
I believe so. So her resume was sent to the mayor's office, and I believe her address is on the resume. However, I do know that there are members of the committee that are not Waterbury residents. So I didn't think that that would be something that would impact her ability to serve.
I'm just curious. I do know there are people who are not, but I was just curious.
Right, I believe she is, and her resume has been submitted. She is a Waterbury resident and graduated from Waterbury Public Schools, Waterbury born and bred, and her family is all throughout Waterbury as well.
Thank you. I'm not opposed.
No
I was just curious.
No problem. Thank you.
She has a very impressive resume. I had an opportunity to view the resume this evening, and she is a Waterbury resident with a very impressive resume. Any other nominations? Okay, I know Jackie Davis' name came up. Is that coming back up?
I had the opportunity to speak with Jackie. She's transitioned into a new position, and with that, wasn't sure what her availability would be to participate on the committee at this time. So at this time, it would not be a good fit for her. Not at this time, but hopefully, if need be, we can reconsider it in the future if there happens to be a vacancy.
Thank you, Madam Co-Chair. So we have, Desborough, 4 vacancies. Am I correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
So we have 1 recommendation. And so we need some more recommendations to fill the vacancies. And again, these nominations will go to the mayor's office for his final approval.
And just to flag, there is still that previous list that was submitted of, residents who had sent in their information in the beginning once the diversity committee was being formed. So that can also be reviewed by the chairs and the mayor.
Okay. I will look back through my email, Desiree, to find the original list. And me and Althea will look at that list and put our heads together and so no other nominations. Okay. So we will forward. Well, Desiree, do you want the recommendation for Attorney Silva to come through, or do you want us to kind of have a deadline, Mac, to have nominations in so the mayor can approve them all at one time?
I'm sorry, could you just repeat that?
Do you want all the nominations submitted at one time, or we can submit them as they come in?
I think I would say to streamline it and submit them all at one time. We do have commissioners recommend his nomination on file because he sent it to that diversity@info@ email. But moving forward, if you just post them and have the list, I think that would be a efficient way to do it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. If there's no other nominations, do we have anyone registered for public speaking tonight?
At this time, no one registered to publicly speak.
Okay. All right. Madam Co-Chair, comments, final remarks?
No additional comments, remarks for me.
Okay. Can I have a, yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I would like to pose a question in terms of the subcommittees to meet. Is that something that you wanted to discuss, determining a date, or is that something you're going to wait for the other two subcommittees to pick a finalized chair and then you guys will discuss and finalize a date?
Yeah, I think that let the other two subcommittees pick their chairs. And then the next step would have the chairs to meet with the co-chairs to identify a date and time.
I have a comment. They do have their temporary chairs now, and the only way they're going to get together to determine the official long-term chair is to come together and meet. So I think they can meet now with the temporary chair already available. I don't think we have to wait.
Madam Co-Chair.
I guess I would just ask if we can have a level of urgency to the subcommittees meeting for those who don't, for the two committees that need to identify a chair, that if that can be done prior to our next meeting, as well as the chairs of the subcommittees getting together before our next meeting. So we have a date of when that is, and we can give the city adequate time to prepare for 4 separate Zoom sessions as well as YouTube. So that would be my ask. That gives us about 4 weeks to do that. And hopefully that's a reasonable amount of time for folks to get that done.
Andrew, is that feasible? Because you're a vice chair of the governance, right?
Yeah. I guess my question is, I guess to Desiree, did that answer your question? So I know you're setting up these subcommittee meetings, so you could go ahead and set them up now. You don't have to wait.
So they would all fall on the same date, and I want to make sure I set you up for success. So it really would stand. We would have to wait for the chairs to convene and decide what date works for the full committee. So all be meeting on the same date, simultaneously at the same time, starting at the same time. So you would want for us all to know what time and date works for everyone.
So yeah, Andrew, so the committee chairs have to meet to identify, a date and time that works for the committees. And then once that date and time has been reached by the subcommittees, then we'll inform the mayor's office of the date and time to make sure that it's available, first and foremost, because I do know that their calendar have other meetings and other groups that meet. And so that would be the acts that co-chair Althea just asked, that if we can get all of that done prior to our next meeting, which gives the subcommittees at least 4 weeks to meet, to identify permanent chairs, and then also to identify a date and time that you guys can meet going forward.
Yeah, and that goes right back to my original question: who's setting it up and when? If you're asking that the temporary chairs as well as the permanent chairs need to come together and identify a date, who's setting up the meeting to bring those chairs together?
I think that falls on the governance committee.
Okay.
Mac has his hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Perhaps we can get the ball rolling with an email chain to the selected subcommittee chairs and interim chairs. And perhaps on that email, we can identify a day and time during the month that we can set up on a reoccurring basis. And again, to the extent that schedules change, we can be flexible with what that selected date and time on a monthly basis is. But Mr. Bean, perhaps we could get, a consensus from the chairs via email quicker than the chairs meeting and deciding that date and time. What are your thoughts?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay. So Desiree, if you made maybe one of your last acts with the diversity committee, you can get that email rolling with the existing chairs and the interim chairs.
Definitely, I will do that.
Thank you, Desiree. Before you take the green mile, do one more thing.
Through the chair, I have a question just for clarity.
Yes, sir.
Just so I'm clear, because I hear language, I hear people being referred to as chairs, temporary chairs, interim chairs. I just want to be clear as to who, like, am I a temporary chair? Am I a permanent chair? What's my status?
Through the chair of this Isaiah, I was just able to get on. I was out of wake, so I got on. I could clarify that if you'd like.
Please, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Diaz.
So what happened was each temporary subcommittee chair, based on the last governance committee, was supposed to reach out and get a nominee. That's what President Clay was talking about. So I shot an exchange with the law enforcement subcommittee, and we chose Attorney Mosley to be our permanent chair of the subcommittee. So the temporary chairs that went and had a straw poll, so to speak, to choose their leader, have a permanent chair. Those who haven't finished that process yet still have a temporary chair.
Through the chair, thank you for that clarification.
Any other questions?
Do we know who Desiree should reach out to for the public health subcommittee?
Yeah, so I do still have that spreadsheet, and based on the that were taken today, I'll be able to update that spreadsheet with the new permanent chairs of the subcommittees and reach out to those permanent chairs plus the still temporary chairs of the public health and the and the other subcommittee that doesn't currently have a permanent.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Through the chair, it's Isaiah again. I don't necessarily think it's a question, but I just wanted to voice my support on the record for the nomination of Attorney Silva. She was actually one of my former mock trial students at Quinnipiac Law, and I can tell you she would be an exceptional addition to the policy work that we're going to do for the law enforcement subcommittee. So I just wanted to put that on the record.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. If there's no other questions, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Jim.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Jim and second by Madam President Jenny Ray Clay to adjourn our diversity committee meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposes? There are none. The ayes have it. Thank you so very much for
Thank you.
a very productive meeting, and we will schedule our next meeting. Desiree, we wish you all the best in your new journey. Thank you so very much. You know, a lot of what transpired for us is because of you. And we thank you for providing excellent administrative support to all of the tasks that you deal with on a daily basis. And then to have this on your plate, we know that we didn't make things easy for you as the co-chairs. You know, sometimes we didn't respond in timely fashion, but you put up with us. And we thank you. We truly thank you, and welcome. And I didn't get your replacement name earlier. My connection. Judy.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to working with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pastor Reese.
Thank you to our technical people. We thank you to the Office of City Clerk. We thank you. My grandmother said people don't have to be kind, but when they are, you ought to say thank you. Thank you to everyone, and have a wonderful evening. Madam Co-Chair, thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
"75% of people who develop substance use disorders will do so by the age of 27. And at this age, we might not have all of the answers, and some young adults won't know where to turn for help. But I'm here to listen without judgment, and I can connect you to help. Come see me, and we can find the answers together. I'm Carly Matasavage, and there is hope for recovery."